Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. I have to tell you, suddenly there is a lot of cricket. One is the test matches that's happening between England and South Africa, Sri Lanka and India, the Caribbean Premier League, which has just started yesterday with a bang, and then we have the NatWest T20 blast where Alex Hales was almost doing something that Chris Gayle did, scoring the fastest T20 century in 30 deliveries, but he just missed the mark by just one scoring stroke, which was a six was needed as Alex Hales was out for 94 of 29 deliveries. What a knock from Alex Hales. I mean, Alex Hales, one would probably not think that Alex Hales can play in such a blitz manner like Chris Gayle. He did so today. And very unfortunate that he just fell short by one ball and one stroke as he was out for 94 of 29 deliveries with 9 fours and 9 sixes against the Durham Jets in the NatWest T20 blast. It was a real blast there, I would say, for Alex Hales. And other than that, there's also some news coming in, cricket news. There are Caribbean Premier League. The third match is right now underway between the Barbados and the Jamaica Talawas. And there is a lot of cricket, in fact. So I don't know whether I'll be in a position to cover everything. So basically, the concentration will be on the Sri Lanka versus India. The first match that I'll be talking about, Sri Lanka versus India. We are talking about, I reckon it's day 3 at the SSC, where the Sri Lankans were really put under the pump when they were bowled out for 183, and that really left them with a mountaineous task. But I think credit to the Sri Lankans in their second dig. They really ducked themselves in and saw to it that even on a very, very spiteful pitch, they managed to get 209 for 2, which was a very good job, well done, especially by Karunaratne. And Kushal Mendes was already been in that princely century now, not out on a century here. So 209 for 2, 230 runs still required. As far as England and South Africa were concerned, England and South Africa, Jonathan Bairstow did some counter-attacking, but was unfortunately out for 99, with England scored at 362 at stumps on day 2. The English bowlers, especially James Anderson, had reduced the South Africans to 220 for 9. So that is also another interesting match which is coming up tomorrow on the third day. So let's get on to real business. And other than that, then as I said, we'll be looking at some cricket news and some CPL, Caribbean Premier League matches, time permitting. So let's start off with the match between India and Sri Lanka. So India and Sri Lanka, as I very rightly said, it was day 3. And all the eyes were on the Sri Lankans, whether they can go and actually avoid the follow-on, because that was the primary thing that they needed to do. But it was not. It was something which was a sort of a real sort of a flop show for the Sri Lankans. As on this pitch, it was very difficult, and Ravichandran Ashwin. Well, what to say about Ravichandran Ashwin going with a 5-wicket bag in the first innings, and Ravichandran Ashwin now, this was his 25th haul, 26th 5-wicket haul. He has already gone past the Indian bowler Harbhajan Singh. Anil Kumble is the one who holds the record with 35 5-wickets in innings, and Kumble is just into his 51st test. And not only that, he also broke another record today when he also went past the former New Zealand great all-rounder Richard Hadlee. Richard Hadlee had taken 63 tests to get his 26 5-wickets in innings, but Ashwin has had 26 5-wickets in his 51st test. That is really tremendous. And also, there was one more bowler who did something sort of a landmark. And we are talking about Ravindra Jadeja, and he has become the quickest left arm spinner to go to 150 wickets. The person who held the record was Mitchell Johnson, who got it in 34 tests, and Jadeja has got it in 32 tests. And well, India can't be more prouder than that, because these two bowlers, the spin twins I would call them, Jadeja and Ashwin are doing a great job for India, and that's what they did today. And that is the reason the Sri Lankans were bowled out for 183. It all started off today. It was the wicket of Chandimal and Karunaratne at the crease. Karunaratne did not, in fact, the first wicket to go today was Umesh Yadav picking up the wicket of Kushal Mendes, caught by Kohli for 24 with 4 boundaries. Chandimal's contribution was just 10 runs with 1 6. Angelo Matthews was brilliantly caught by Pujara of the bowling of Ashwin for 26 with 2 4s and 2 6s, played in some aggressive mode, I would say. But Niroshan Dikwala was the one who kept on striking the ball while playing some nice sweep shots, reverse sweep shots, as he collected 51 with 7 4s and 1 6. That was the only good portion for the Sri Lankans in that 183 all out. Dhananjay De Silva was deceived by Jadeja, and as the ball crashed into his stumps, he was gone for a blob. Pereira was bowled by Ashwin for 25. Dilruwan Pereira 25 3 4s and 1 6. Rangana Herath was bowled by Shami for 2, and Fernando also dismissed by Ashwin. So Ashwin and Jadeja were the ones who were doing the honours for India, especially Ravichandran Ashwin getting with this getting a 5-wicket bag. And as I said, this was his 26th 5-wicket bag in Test cricket. 16.4 overs, 3 maidens, 69 runs and 5 wickets. Shami 2 for 13, Yada 1 for 12, and Jadeja 22 overs, 6 minutes, 84 runs and 2 wickets. But I have to say, the Sri Lankans were put absolutely under the pump by bowling them. They were bowled out for 183, and it looked like probably the Sri Lankans were going to even struggle in the second innings. But yes, they definitely lost Taranga very, very quickly, as Umesh Yadav cleaned his stumps for 2. So that was the first wicket. But after that, it was a real grind for the Indians. The bowlers had to, so that is the reason I said that I would be crediting these 2 Sri Lankan batsmen, Dimuth Karunaratne at the crease and Kushal Mendes. Both really combined well. Karunaratne, as you know, he really plays close to the line of the ball. He has a good technique and sees to it that he comes as close to the ball, and that is wonderful, because in cricket you have to get as close to the ball as possible, get your body behind the ball, and that's what Karunaratne normally does. And he's a sort of a real plodder at the crease, and he did that precisely. At the other end, Kushal Mendes was really going in serene fashion, and he was showing what real class player he is. Even on a pitch like this, he was sweeping very well. He was reverse sweeping. There were some switch shots played, and Kushal Mendes was just flowing. He was just flowing away with his strokes here, and he was looking pretty good. And he handled Ashwin and Jadeja in the best possible manner. Karunaratne, more of an occupation of the crease, one could say, as Karunaratne and Mendes stitched together a partnership to revive the Sri Lankan innings from 7 for 1. It was direly needed. It came about with a wonderful partnership that happened between Karunaratne and Mendes, which yielded 191 runs. And just towards close of play, Kushal Mendes, who had done his hard job, hard yards, and he had gone to his 3rd test ton, was a victim, as Hardik Pandya actually had him caught behind brilliantly by Riddhiman Saha. What an innings! So a sweet little innings from Kushal Mendes under the circumstances. A very important knock at that. He got 110 with 17 delectably timed boundaries. At the other end, Karunaratne was still holding the fort for the Sri Lankans, not out on 92 with 12 fours. Malinda Pushpakumra was sent in as a night watchman. He was not out on 2, as Sri Lanka closed the day 3 at the SSC in the second test match at 209 for 2. They're still leading 230 runs. But one good thing is that with still Chandimal, Matthews and Dikwala to come, and if at all these players can show the same application that Kushal Mendes and Karunaratne showed, they could well get out of jail here. So that is something that the Sri Lankan batsmen have to do tomorrow. But India definitely, even though I thought India could have done much better, but I would say credit to the batsmanship of Karunaratne and Kushal Mendes. Umesh Yadav, 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 29, provided the breakthrough. Ravichandran Ashwin, 24 overs, 6 maidens, 79 runs and no wicket. But it was really, and Mohammad Shami 13. I think it was about the handling by the Sri Lankan batsmen Karunaratne and Kushal Mendes of Ashwin and Jadeja, which really did the trick for them as they got themselves to bat for quite a long time. 16 overs, 2 minutes, none for 76 for Jadeja. Pandya 5 overs, 1 for 12. And as I said, Sri Lanka still need 230 runs on the morrow to actually make India bat again. So that is, or else if that does not happen, if the Sri Lankans are bowled out by any chance, it would be an innings defeat for them. Well, so that is as far as that match is concerned, but so that credit to the Sri Lankan batsmen there. Now let's get on to the other match. We are talking about the match between South Africa and England. We are talking about day 2, where England resumed at their overnight score with Jonathan Bairstow and Toby Rowland-Jones in the middle. But Kagiso Rabada gave them a double breakthrough in the morning when he got rid of Toby Rowland-Jones, caught by Bavuma for 4 with 1 boundary. Moeen Ali was the next to go, giving a catch to du Plessis of the bowling of Rabada for 14 with 3 fours. With 2 wickets taken by Rabada, the score read 303 for 8, and then there were 1 more wicket to follow when the next wicket to go was Monty Morkel, who castled Stuart Broad. He bent the stumps of Stuart Broad for 7 with 1-4. But Jonathan Bairstow was the one who was at the other end, and he was joined in by the number 11 batsman, James Anderson. Now, this was a real struggle. Jonathan Bairstow at that time decided that now is the time to really have a crack at the South African bowlers. He really went hammer and tongs at the South African bowlers. Morkel was creamed for 4 boundaries in 12 deliveries, and Jonathan Bairstow was really pumping it in for the Englishman. From 300 and when the score read 312 for 9, one thought that it was only thanks to Jonathan Bairstow actually pummeling the South African bowlers, and also very sensibly taking a single of the 4th or 5th deliveries to allow Anderson the limited strike possible, which was a very sensible move by Jonathan Bairstow. And he also hit one delightful 6 straight down the ground of Duane Oliver, and Bairstow was entertaining. And the time came when James Anderson was doing his job of guarding his wicket, not out on 4, and that was time when just 1 run was required for Jonathan Bairstow to go to a wonderful century here. Tragedy struck when with 50 runs added for the 10th wicket, with Jonathan Bairstow counter-attacking the South African bowlers. It happened that Keshav Maharaj bowled to Bairstow. Bairstow tried to sweep the delivery. His leg was outside the off stump when he was trying to sweep the ball, but he was adjudged LBW by Kumar Dharmasena, and Jonathan Bairstow, very unluckily, I would say very unfortunate, which went to the DRS system, but then the verdict came that Kumar Dharmasena could hold his decision, and that resulted in Jonathan Bairstow walking back in a very dejected fashion back to the pavilion. LBW for 99, 14 fours and 1-6. What a knock from Jonathan Bairstow. Played a very sensible knock here. 362 all out. And the bowling, Morning Morkel 2 for 92, but Rabada was good, 4 for 91, 26 overs, 7 minutes, 91 runs and 4 wickets. Morkel 26 overs, 5 minutes, 92 runs and 2 wickets. Duane Oliver 21 overs, 3 minutes, 91 runs and 2 wickets. It was 2 wickets apiece. Keshav Maharaj 2 for 58, 30.4 overs. I thought he bowled superbly. 30.4 overs, 9 minutes, 58 runs and 2 wickets. And De Bruin 5 overs, none for 18. Now South Africa were replying to the total of 362, and it was the turn for the South Africans. Now James Anderson, as you know, at Manchester and Old Trafford, James Anderson has an end which is known as the James Anderson end, and he was bowling from the James Anderson end, and he got rid of Dean Elgar very quickly in the piece as he hit him on the shin with a ball that angled across him, and Dean Elgar was gone. LBW bowled Anderson for naught. So that was wicket number 1 for the South Africans. They were 0 for 1. Hino Kuhn and Amla joined and slowly started pushing them, but Hino Kuhn definitely did not look comfortable at the crease at all. But Hashim Amla had slowly wended his way to 30 with 4 boundaries, and that was the time Toby Roland Jones. What an exciting time for him. As you would remember, in his debut Test match, he scalped the wicket of Hashim Amla twice, and now it was number 3 for Toby Roland Jones as Hashim Amla edged into the hands of Barristow behind the stumps, and Hashim Amla was gone for 30 with four boundaries. After that, so that made the score. When Amla went, it was 47 for 2, and then there was a brief bit of resistance when Bavuma joined Hino Kun. But Hino Kun, I have to say, was really struggling at the crease. And then finally, that struggle came to an end when Moeen Ali had him caught brilliantly, I thought, by Ben Stokes for 24 with 3 boundaries. Temba Bavuma, he played in his own manner that he did. Temba Bavuma and du Plessis did a good job once again trying to resurrect the innings, but only to a certain extent, as another 47 runs were added. And then that was the time when James Anderson, who came back onto his second spell, really struck it big, and that really poked a hole into the South African batting lineup. As what he did, he bowled a delivery to Tenda Bavuma, and Tenda Bavuma was just watching the ball. He probably thought the ball is going to swerve away, and he was absolutely nonplussed there as the ball came on to hit the furniture, and Temba Bavuma was gone, bowled by Anderson for 46 for 4 boundaries. Du Plessis was the next to go, and this was a spell from Anderson where he picked up 3 wickets pretty quickly. As in his second spell, Du Plessis got a delivery where Du Plessis probably was a bit slow on the drive. Before he could meet the bat of the ball inside dead, and he was clean bowled by Anderson for 27 4 boundaries. And Bruin was the next victim, caught root, and this was Bruin had actually beautifully flicked Anderson for a boundary, but the very next delivery was a fuller length delivery from Anderson, and Tendo Bruin was forced to actually poke at the ball which was leaving him, and Joe Root settled under it beautifully at the slip region. He was gone for 11 with 2 boundaries, and then it was Quinton de Kock who carried on till 24, but after that it was the turn. Keshav Maharaj was LBW ball Ali for 30 with 1-4 and 1-6, and then Stuart Broad, towards the close of play, plunged the South Africans to 220 for 9 when he got the important wicket of Quinton de Kock, caught by Barrister for 24 with 3 boundaries, and Rabada was the victim just at the stroke, just at the last over of the day, I would say, where he picked up the wicket of Kagiso Rabada, but not before Kagiso Rabada was really stroking the ball very nicely, as he got 5 boundaries in his knock of 23, as Broad actually picked this wicket, caught by Stokes, to leave Monty Morkel fighting for the Moro not out on 18. So with Duane Oliver still to come, it's a very big task for the South Africans now. They are still trailing. Now one can look at the value of that Jonathan Barristow innings, where now 142 runs South Africans are really trailing, with Monty Morkel not out on 18, and Duane Oliver to come and join Monty Morkel on the morrow tomorrow morning. Anderson, what a spell of bowling from James Anderson. He really, as I said, poked the hole in the South African batting order. 15 overs, 4 maidens, 33 runs and 4 wickets. Stuart Broad, 14.3 overs, 4 maidens, 45 runs and 2 wickets. Toby Roland Jones, 11 overs, 1 for 41. He has been a bunny rabbit. Hashim Amla has become the bunny rabbit for Toby Roland Jones in this series. Moeen Ali, 21 overs, 257. Stokes none for 34. Mallon, 1 over, bowled for 7 runs. So that is as far as the wrap-up of this India versus Sri Lanka and England versus South Africa. And now we get on to some other news. The NatWest, this is something that if I don't talk on this particular cricket show, I will be doing a big sin here. Because we are talking about Alex Hales. One would remember the T20 century record. The fastest T20 century is in the name of none other than that real marauder of a cricket ball, Chris Gayle of West Indies, who hit a T20 century of just 30 deliveries. But this guy, when nobody would have thought, but one knows that Alex Hales is a very, very talented player, and we also know how aggressive he can be. But one never thought that he would be going into the same breadth as Chris Gale today. He played in Gale-esque fashion today. What a knock from the Nottinghamshire player Alex Hales, just falling 1 run short, sorry, 6 run short, basically 1 stroke short, where he slammed a century. He didn't slam a century, in fact he fell short by 6 runs. So basically he was out for 94 of 29 deliveries with 9 fours and 9 sixes. And even though if one would say that this was a Durham team, I think there's due credit for Alex Hales here. In fact, just fell short, and 94 of 29 balls was brilliant from Alex Hales. 9 fours and 9 sixes, helping the Knots actually overcome Durham Jets in the NatWest T20 Blast competition. A stunning knock from Alex Hales. And Alex Hales, I can say, is in the form of his life right now. As you know, he also helped his county win the Royal London One Day Cup final with an unbeaten innings of 187. So this is simply, in fact, he made 95 of just 30 deliveries, and he was very close to that Chris Gale record. Real kudos to Alex Hales. And Alex Hales, I think, this bloke is someone who can be very dangerous, I would say. And as I said, time is a real constraint, dear fans. I'm seeing whether I can give you some live cricket updates of the CPL, the Caribbean Premier League yesterday. We had one nice match, the first match, which ended with McCullum and Monroe absolutely lambasting the St. Lucia Zooks attack, I suppose, but I'm still there on that for you. I'm just trying to see whether I can lay my hands, but I think I'm a bit short here of time, and I don't think I'll be able to speak about the Caribbean Premier League, but I can tell you that the Caribbean Premier League has really begun in a very, very exciting fashion. No doubt about it. I can just talk about one game which happened. Patriots actually winning the match by 4 wickets, but yesterday's match was something which was truly brilliant. It was the first match, the inaugural match, where Brendan McCullum and Colin Munro absolutely waded into the attack, with both actually matching each other stroke for stroke, and their team won. So as I said, really short of time here. As I said, there's a lot of cricket happening, but unfortunately it's time for me to bring the curtain down on cricket happenings today. But the curtain will be once again up tomorrow when I come back and see you all on my cricket happening show. It's goodbye from here.